The hospital called and said, your daughter's been in an accident. I don't have a daughter. The nurse on the other end says, you're listed as the emergency contact, and the girl keeps asking for you by name. Okay, I tell her. I'm on my way. The entire drive I'm so distracted I run 3 yellow lights. When I get to the ICU, a social worker meets me outside the room of my supposed daughter. She's holding a clipboard and blocking the doorway. She explains, she's a 16-year-old girl who got hit by a car. Broken ribs, severe concussion, fractured wrist. Your number was saved in her phone as my hero, and under her emergency contact for the hospital. I try to explain I don't know this girl or her family when the social worker cuts me off. Until we figure out who her real parents are, you're staying. I start to argue, but she steps closer. The girl's unstable. If you leave and she finds out you're not her dad, it could cause a psychological break. I want to smack my head against the wall. I can't pretend to be someone's dad. That's insane. The social worker's voice goes flat. She's alone. You're it. Pretend until she stabilizes. She pushes the hospital room door open and basically forces me inside. The girl is small in the hospital bed, face bruised, left arm in a cast. The second she hears me, her eyes fly open. She reaches for me with her good hand and starts crying. Dad, you came. I freeze completely. The doctor steps in and whispers that her concussion is causing memory confusion, that I need to play along or risk her condition worsening. I'm being backed into a corner by everyone in this room, and the girl won't let go of my hand. So I sit down, because what else can I do? I'm sitting next to this little girl, trying to figure out how to get her to remember things when she starts talking. Somehow she knows I have a golden retriever, that I broke my wrist falling off a bike when I was 12. She knows my mom died when I was 19. Things nobody should know unless I told them. How does this stranger know my life? The girl falls asleep after dinner and I grab her phone from the bedside table. I start scrolling through everything. No calls or texts from anyone. Her emergency contact list has exactly one number, mine. I keep digging. Pictures of an empty refrigerator. A selfie of her alone in an apartment with no furniture. I go to the nurse's station and ask if anyone figured out who the girl's real parents were. The nurse tells me, we reached out to them at 9 this morning. It's 6 p.m. now. When did they call back? I ask. They didn't. The nurse reads from her notes. Father said, is someone staying with her? Okay, good. We're in the middle of a cruise. We'll check in when we dock. I blink slowly, trying to process what she said. They knew their daughter is in the hospital and they're still on a cruise? Another nurse jumps in. We called again at 2 p.m., asked if they wanted updates. Mother said, is she stable? We said yes. She said great and hung up. I feel sick. I go back to the room and I'm staring at the girl's broken arm when the social worker comes back. I have more information. The parents are 7 days into a 14-day Caribbean cruise. When I told them their daughter was in ICU, the mother said, well, we already paid for the cruise. Can't she just stay at a group home for a while? The social worker looks exhausted. They're not coming back early. They said they'll deal with it when they dock next week. I'm so angry I can't speak. The girl wakes up around midnight and sees me still there. She smiles and says, you always stay, Dad. I don't correct her. The next morning, the girl wakes up and stares at me for a long time. Then she starts crying. I'm so sorry, she whispers. I know you're not my dad. My chest tightens. I ask how she knows my personal information. She's shaking now. I've been following you. Not like stalking, but I know things about your life. My mind races to worst case scenarios. How? She hesitates, then says, you have a YouTube channel. Motivational videos about surviving loss and trauma. I watched every single one. You talked about your childhood, about your dog. I memorized everything because your videos were the only thing that helped me. I'm trying to process this. When the paramedics asked who to call, you gave them my number? She nods, tears streaming. I was confused from the head injury. I kept saying my dad and pointing at my phone. I saved your number from a help hotline you did. My hands clench into fists. Are all of your injuries from the car? Her voice is barely a whisper. No. I stand up and walk straight to the social worker's office in the hospital. I don't knock. I tell her I want to file a neglect report and start the process to become this girl's foster parent. 6 weeks later, I'm helping the girl unpack boxes in her new room in my apartment. My dog keeps stealing her socks and she loves it. The foster certification came through fast once they investigated her parents' neglect. The parents didn't fight to sign the papers.